What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got a last minute phone call that a car that we had been working on is done. We had to send it over to Brandwood Sand Cars to get their cable shifter done. It's a mid-engine car, and if you've owned a mid-engine sand car and it's got cable shifting, there's about a 98% chance that the shifter was made by Brandwood. So I don't know if you guys can see out the back window, but we got her on the trailer. We picked her up. We are actually headed out to Glamis in the Dunes. This is the last weekend Glamis Fab's going to be open. I think all the rest of the vendors are closed up for the year. We're going to go give this thing a rip and then deliver it to the customer. And we're going to bring you guys with us for a little bit of last minute season Dune action. So you guys stick around. We're going to take you with us. We'll get this thing unloaded when we get in the dunes and take you guys for a rip. Like I told you in the past, you never know what you're gonna find when you come to the Glamis Beach store. So we were out here just on our last weekend packing the shop up and come across Drive Road Rally. Check this out, guys. So none of them have paddle tires on them, but you know, these guys are on a big road rally and they go. So where do you guys go again? How far is it?
We go from Vegas to Scottsdale, Scottsdale to Palm Springs back to Vegas.
Right on. What's it called?
The Drive Road Rally.
Drive Road Rally. You guys got a website to look at?
You know what? Yeah, driveroadrallye.com, I guess.
Driveroadrallye.com, guys. So go check them out and maybe get in on a little road rally action. And you can follow me on Rocky Mountain Race Week as well. So they're hanging out here at the store. Unfortunately, I think the store's already closed. But yeah, pretty cool. Bunch of cool ass cars out here. And like I said, never know what you're going to run into on the Dunatic YouTube channel.
Are we on the air?
Ruh-roh.
About to win, guys, but now that the rally's gone, we went ahead and got this car unloaded off of the trailer. Like I said before, it's got the new shifter in there from Brandwood. Really nice piece. Jimmy shifters work awesome. They come back here. So we replaced the nose cone, had it machined for a 2D, and then Jimmy's got his setup, this Brandwood shifter setup, and this thing shifts like butter. It shifts so good. It had a hydraulic sequential setup in it before, but this thing just works so well. You know, hits every gear, goes into reverse, no problem. So guy's gonna be really happy. So we'll wait till the morning. We'll get the whip put back on this thing, and then we'll take it out for a little test trip, and we'll see how fast this thing really is. What up, guys? So it is time when we're gonna take this cool little SU mid-engine car. SU or SU? Oh, suspension's unlimited. SU. I'm gonna take this thing for a rip. It's got a healthy Nissan, 4-cylinder Nissan motor, turbo. This thing rips. They say it's really fast. So we're gonna get the whip fixed up here. It looks like the whip snapped off. We'll get a whip on this thing, and we're gonna take her out for a test trip and take you guys with us. So stick around. Here we go. All right, well, we're in this car. We're gonna go ahead and fire it up. See how good she shifts. successful little rip. Car runs good, car shifts good, so it's going to be good to go back to the customer. Took that car for a little rip, and runs real good. That's just about it for the season out here at Glamis Fab. The shop's packed up. We got everything put away. Joe's ready to roll. What'd you think of this season, Fab?
It was good.
Yep.
Very good.
So now we're back to San Limo, building cars, maintaining cars. Wait for the friggin' train. Sorry, guys. But yeah, we got a bunch of cars going on at the shop there. We'll keep you guys informed of that stuff, and that's it, man. Glamis season is over, and we are closed for the season. We'll mind you, we're closed for the season, but the videos aren't going to stop. I got all kinds of more content coming. Rocky Mountain Race Week coming up, all kinds of stuff. So stick around. I'm going to bring you a bunch of coverage on that. But we're done for the season out here at Glamis Fab. Here we go again. So as you guys saw from that little clip, the wonderful California Highway Patrol, they gave me they didn't give me a warning, that's for sure. I got a speeding ticket for 65 and a 55. They said I was going significantly faster than that, but I really don't think so. I really don't go that fast with my tow, but unfortunately I'm so used to living in Arizona now that does not have a towing speed limit. If the speed limit's 75, then you can tow at 75 in Arizona. They don't care. So that's probably how it should be everywhere. So, you know, it is what it is. Got another ticket. I'm gonna have to go to traffic school on that one. And you know, state of California ain't cutting nobody no breaks, that's for sure. I left my toy hauler there because in the next couple of weeks I think I'm going to be taking it up to Weekend Warrior in Paris, California, and dropping it off to get all the repairs done that I need on that trailer. I bought that trailer knowing that it needed some repairs, and I did some sort of temporary repairs that have lasted like 5 or 6 years now. So I'm going to take it to them, drop it off, have them reskin the front of it, and just go through it and make it right. So it's well overdue, and the season's over, so now's the time to get it done. I don't need it, so we'll get out there in a couple of weeks and get it dropped off. But hopefully when we get home, the transmission for the Chevelle will be ready. So I'll be able to get that picked up, and we'll get it back installed back in the car and be able to take that thing for a rip. Guys, so we're back over at San Limo today, and want to show you guys a quick update on the blue car. Joe killed it on this back end. I know it's a little loud in here, but look at that. How long did that take you? 3 hours. Man, check that out. He just destroyed it. So awesome. And then we always have a trouble with the Subaru motor mounts with getting the bolts in and out, so Joe came up with this little idea, and then to leave a bolt in there. That way we never have an issue getting the bolts in and out. So it's always a problem on these Subaru cars, but this is an ingenious idea, dude. Like, yeah. So, yeah, no, go make noise. This thing will be off the paint tomorrow. He's even got the new wing. Got the new side pieces for the wing all done. It's all riveted. It's gonna go off the paint, and we kept the more. Actually in here working on his own truck finally. We're still waiting on the front fenders to come in. He's redoing the rear shock mounts. We sent the original shocks off to King, and Mike's gonna make some King retro shocks. We've got the electric power steering ready for it. Like I said, we're still just waiting on these fenders. As soon as the fiberglass fenders come in, we'll finish up the radiator mounts, and this thing will get off the paint as well. All right, so Danny Tecco's car is going to get started, I think this week, maybe next week. Like I showed you guys in the past, Honda V6 is trashed. The short block I'm having built for this car is almost done, and then we're going to be able to turn it up. But in order to turn it up, he needed to get this. So we're going to put a sequential trans in this thing that'll hold some real power. And like I told you guys in the past, we'll take this 2D out of here, and Joe will work his magic in there and somehow shoehorn that big ass tranny in here. I don't know how he does it, but something in his brain just lets him do it. So we'll get this thing ready for the season. Switch from the shop right back to the garage. We're back up. Blowing my skirt up there. We've got a big pile of J-Series harnesses here that someone else did for one of my customers, and every one of them doesn't work. They've got bad ports, something. They weren't tested properly, so I'm going to put them all on the bench, test them all out. It looks like they got way too much stuff in here than they need. Some of the chassis plugs are still on there. I don't know what exactly it is. That's a junction plug. I don't know what it is they were doing, but we're going to go ahead and clip and eliminate everything we don't need out of these harnesses, and we're going to make them right. So, guys, if you need help doing a J-Series harness, hit me up. Look at my videos. Don't be these guys. All right, well, I got this thing kind of torn apart. Pulled out a bunch of wires that were unnecessary. And so I got my meter hooked up. We're going to tone out. This is what they're using for the power lead to power the entire harness. So let's see if I can't set. I'm going to try to tone this stuff out. What you really need to do is, once you have power established in the harness, you got to make sure that the injectors here and the coil packs, all 6 of them, have power. They're jumped together inside the harness, but if there's a couple things in there that if you miss, you're not going to have any power. So let's try this one. All right, there's a tone. So we got power on the injectors. All 3 of these should be tied together, but let's just see. Yep. So I got power on those injectors. Let's go down here to the other injector rail. Got power on those injectors. So that injectors were lit. This is a mess. I'm going to fix all that. Let's try coil packs. So here's one of the coil pack connectors right here. Let's see. See if I can hold my phone up and do this at the same time. Sorry about the glare, guys. So there's one problem. No power to those coils. No power to the coil packs. Probably due to this jumper not being terminated. Let's check the other ones. All right, so this harness has no power to any of the coil packs. So that was what was wrong with it. We're going to dive into this a little bit further, take a look a little bit deeper in here, and see what we can come up with. So what it's looking like to me, guys, is this is a junction connector right here, and the male end of this is supposed to plug in and jump a bunch of these pins across and combine them all together. You've got a bunch of powers in here and a bunch of grounds. So it's probably why this harness didn't work. Amongst, as well as looking in here, and there's just a bunch of stuff that's done. I'm gonna clean all this up and make it right. But yeah, everything's here. There's no reason why it shouldn't work. I'm gonna tone out all the injectors, and I kind of have a test jig that I can put this on and test it and make sure it's good. We'll power it up. We're gonna add some relay packs like we always do, and we'll get this one fixed up. I'm looking into this pile, and it looks like all these harnesses were kind of made by the same guy, the same person, and every one of these, let's see, I know I just pulled another one out of here, and that same junction connector was missing. So it's supposed to look like that. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out and just solder it all together inside the harness and get rid of that junction connector. So, always check your stuff, guys. We're going to get these fixed up, and we'll get them back to my customer. All right, well, as you guys can see, we've cleaned up this entire area. Oh, I got a little bit of yellow right there. I need to tape off still. But we took that junction connector out. I just clipped it completely out. Powered everything that needed to be powered. Grounded everything that needed to be grounded. These two I'm also going to go in here and clean up. Probably not going to get rid of them, but I'm going to make sure everything's proper in those junction connectors. But so far so good. I went ahead and metered out the power, and I got power on all the injectors and the coil packs now. So we should be able to get this thing buttoned up, add the relays, and give it a test here in just a few minutes. Well, we got the relays added, got everything loomed back up and taped, and then started running through my checklist, and the map sensor had no 5-volt power on it. So I toned it out to this wire that's soldered together in here. and it goes nowhere. So it's not going to the ECU. So we're going to cut this open, this section open right here, and try to find where the problem was. So the reason this harness didn't work is because half of the coils didn't work and there was no power on the map sensor. Map sensor needs to see 5 volts and 5 volts worth of ground in order to work. So probably the same thing on the TPS. I'm going to check that as well. But anyways, we're going to get this thing fixed up, and we'll have another happy customer, and then I've got 2 or 3 more to go, probably with the same similar issues. So we'll get it done and move on to the next ones. I got a little deeper into this one, and somewhere in the harness they have this brown and white wire, which is actually supposed to go to the ground, is tied directly to 12 volt power. So we're going to abandon that, and they had it tied to sensor ground VCC1, which is the ground for the rest of the sensors, which is that's probably the reason why the harness really didn't work, is right there. So we're going to fix all that. We've already toned it out back to the ECU plugs, so we'll get the proper grounding to all the sensors, and this will be another fixed harness. So I'm going to make sure I look out for those when I jump into those ones too. But kind of the same thing, guys. You know, here we go. All right, guys, so I laid out the pile of harnesses. I got 3 in the box, 4, 5, 6, no, 4 in the box, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the one that I just finished fixing, 9. So a total of 9 harnesses that my customer had bought from someone else who was building them, and they didn't work. I found a lot of problems in this harness getting back to this. Found grounds tied to power, sensor grounds tied to 12 volts. So this thing had a lot of issues, but we got it bench tested, and this one will fire and run. Hopefully I can do the same with the rest of these. It's going to take me a little time, but I will eventually work all these out and get them all working properly. All right, we also just got word that our transmission for the Chevelle will be ready, I think tomorrow. So we'll be able to get this thing back in the car this weekend and get this thing buttoned up back on the street and ready for the dyno, so I can actually drive it. My sand car is going to be going over to San Lamo next week to start the whole process with that car. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.